Choi beautifully covered how like the ways in which product managers work in different companies are actually different from one another. I think rather than defining as an industry itself, product management is not actually differing based on the industry. Say for like not every pharmaceutical companies do product management the same way, or like not Grab and Gojek might not have the same product management practice. So I would like to define it more in a bit of a strategic sectors. Like for example, there are organizations that are strongly focused on tech. That means these set of companies want product managers to be highly technical. An example is Google do not actually hire you if I mean, I don't want to write in black and white, but you have to have an engineering degree and you will be tested for your coding skills in a Google interview. At the same time, Google's competitor Facebook, or like they are in the same scale in a tech industry, Facebook do not want a product manager to have an engineering skill set, but Facebook rather focuses on a product manager's product sense or product ideations, metrics prioritization, and stuff like that. So I think the difference I personally feel is as to where you fit in as a product manager. Like for example, every individual on this call has to evaluate themselves to identify what their strong suits are. Are they good at negotiating, or are they good at tech, or are they having a strong sense of design, or are they having a background in data analytics? So you can actually go on the web and do your research on companies which actually focuses on your key skill sets. So what I would recommend is like the differences in this industry is not based on the business they do, but rather on the practice they follow for product management. So it actually might be a vision of the chief product officer, yeah, the chief product officer, who probably would have defined the entire strategy of product management in that organization. So I would say it's rather a company dependent than an industry dependent phenomena to have different skill sets. The next thing you can do after identifying like what your long-term goal is, that or what your strong suit is, identify what type of profiles are these companies looking for. Like there would be some commonalities among the product managers of these organizations that you have shortlisted. So even if your target is actually to be a product manager at Facebook, work backwards to how product managers of Facebook was hired. Like what was their background, how did they reach there, what have they been doing uniquely to match or to fit into the product culture at that particular organization. So for example, there was a historical time, but product management is not a new culture. It's just been new in Singapore, I would say. It has been there for over 20 years, but it was not defined as hot as it sounds now. So when initially product managers were getting hired at tech companies like Google or Facebook, or even the Uber had a very strong product management practice for a very long time, and they were like the first class product managers did belong to Uber for a very long. And we had a lot of product managers from Uber at Grab, and that's probably how we got the opportunity of studying from a lot of people who were masters at their skill sets. So I think working backwards from these product management profiles will give you a very strong fundamental basics as to how you can work your profiles upward. So building product portfolios, experimenting your own products, building MVPs, doing a deep research. Like for example, like Chori mentioned, if there are small medium enterprises, or even there are like initial level startups, and you know that they are looking out for product managers, do a deep dive into the product they are envisioning for. Do your own prototyping, approach them with your prototypes, and like I would say just make them excited about how passionate you are about their mission than they are. Like, so that's what startups love. They want people who are passionate about the products rather than cracking into a product management job by itself. So yeah, I think in short, I would say identify yourself where you fit in and go for an organization that matches or values your skill set.